Well, hello and welcome back. I'm Sean TV, Stuart the Home Gamer, and I'm here again playing Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Where I left off, I just finished the quest, Road to Zenith, and I got a new piece of gear. So what I'm going to do before I continue, I'm actually going to equip that new piece of gear. So first, let's mend everything I have, because it's pretty worn. There we go. And then I'm going to equip the new piece of gear, which was upper body. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's do recommended. I should just switch my top. Yep. Equip it. Boom. Wow, that's revealing. And we'll update our gear set. That's how we do it. And we'll take a look at ourselves. So there's the back, sides, fronts. Zoom a little more. Spiky shoulders. That was definitely pretty good. Alright. That's what we have. So let's go back here and talk to Moghan and continue the main story. Let's see what he has to say. Waiting for the wind to change. Moghan seems fretful about the weather. We have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Housefire invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you try blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. Alright. Waiting for the wind to change. So, not sure what the point of this is, but gotta go to there. Just south of us. This way. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. I may have a brief respite when the hardship of the road will help to clear our minds and readiness for the coming parley. Very well then, I believe the campfire is in order. Leave the gathering afield to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Porthos. Great. Clear our minds. 'Tis Master Alphanod whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Sean, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. Sure, man. Clean up out here. Just got this guy first. It is an enemy. Got him. Alright, now we'll go in here. Yep. Alright. Let's call back Salili. She's already over there. This current. Now I'm turning to it. Alright. Let's mount up. And head back. Waiting for the wind to change. I see, I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphanab returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The ice queen has filled a pot with what looks like stew ingredients ready for the fire. A few things compared to the simple pleasures of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. Huh. So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and flint. 'Twas well you've instructed me so patiently then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to yourself a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of Charleyan dignitary, and alongside my twin became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers, how ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal and led to the downfall of the Scions. We all are as guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay their lives, never knowing what it is that they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. 'Twas only upon meeting Houseburger that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for a chance encounter, I would not have ever vowed to tear down the Holy See, or expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things, I cannot deny, but I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding up to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphinaud. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragon's Song War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for a certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great one. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself. Orders are now. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of your parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Hausberger of the righteousness of their cause. Yes, but no, but that I shall, Dragoon. While wind's willing, we shall have our answer on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. Quest complete. Alright, thank you very much. I completed the quest, waiting for the wind to change. I'm Sean TD Stewart, the Home Gamer, and I hope you enjoyed this. Please tune in again next time for more Final Fantasy XIV. Bye.